What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you 5 of the best exercises that are going to help you develop your lower pecs. Like I said, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 different exercises that are going to be great for your chest, but specifically going to put the most emphasis on the lower portion of the chest, because if you're at the gym doing chest exercises and you just can't get your that hangover or that separation between your chest and your abs, then maybe you're doing the wrong exercises, and today I'm going to clear that up. So now, before I get into that, I will say if you're trying to build your chest, today's exercises are going to be fantastic. But if you're not getting enough protein in, and you're not getting the right amount of carbs to accent the protein and the right amount of fats to help you stay in shape and be healthy and absorb nutrients and burn fat, then you're not going to be able to get in shape. If you want help with figuring out how many carbs, fats, and proteins your body needs every single day, click the link below this video. Take my free body type quiz. I'm not joking. It's probably one of the best things you can do, whether you're a beginner or someone advanced, but simply don't know your macros or don't know simple ways that are like HIIT workouts to help you get in shape. It will tell you what you need to do depending on what your body type is and how much food you should be eating every single day. So check that out. But let's get into today's video. So, of the 5 exercises, I'm just going to start this out right in the beginning. One of them is not going to be the decline bench, because we've all probably heard of decline bench, or you've been at the gym and you do the decline bench and you try to get it to work that lower portion of your chest. Well, I actually made a video about why bench press is one of the worst exercises that you can do if you're trying to build specifically your chest. If you want to check that video out, it goes into much detail about bench press and an exercise that's better to do. I'm just going to put a card to it up here. But instead of doing decline bench, I have a little variation that we're going to do instead. All right, so we've stepped over to the cable machine, and instead of the decline bench, because the biggest issue with the decline bench is that, 1, it's going to be working a bunch of different muscles, but 2, because when you're doing any kind of bench press, your arms are going to be in a fixed position. And what your chest wants is abduction and adduction. So basically bringing your elbows in across your body towards the midline of your body, and then also out, therefore shortening and lengthening the muscle. And especially when it comes to the lower pec, you want to bring your arms from up to down. That's why the decline bench is great for lower chest. But doing it one step further, we're going to be going with some decline cable crossovers, because it's going to allow for it's going to basically allow you to bring your elbows much farther than a bench press ever could, simply because of the free range of motion. So you're going to grab these cables and you're going to put them up pretty high. I like to get a nice little lean forward. That way I have a nice stretch in my pec. And then from here, I'm going to basically take my arms, I'm going to keep them in line with my body. So I'm not pushing them way forward. I'm actually pushing them down first. And then after they're down, after they're pressed down, I'm then going to bring them across my body. I'm also going to take my palms and I'm going to start pointing my palms in towards my body. So I'm going to get a little medial rotation with my arm, which is basically just that. And that's also going to help work the chest. And so there, bringing it across, and then even by crossing your arms, you're getting even more, you're shortening the muscle even more, therefore tearing more fibers, going up, getting a nice stretch at the top, bringing it down, squeezing it across, and bringing it back up. So just by doing this variation, instead of the decline bench, getting rid of that fixed range of motion, basically the fixed positioning that your hands are in, getting on the cables, which allows you to bring your arms much farther across your body and also get a better stretch, you're therefore going to be targeting that lower portion of your pec so much better, shortening it so much more, getting so much more stimulation just by jumping on the cables. So now let's move into exercise number 2. All right, so exercise number 2, we're stepping over onto the pec deck machine. This is going to be a variation that's very similar to the decline cable crossovers, but just going to hit your chest in a slightly different way. So a regular pec deck, you'd be sitting down here and you'd be bringing this just straight across your body. And that's gonna hit the main sternal head of your chest, but we're trying to hit that lower part of your pec. We're trying to really get that hangover from your chest. So the simple variation that the change in the form that we're gonna do, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna bring our feet farther from the machine so that you're at an angle. And by doing this, and I'm gonna be grabbing the handles up here a little bit, simply because this pec deck machine's a little shorter than most that I'm used to. And so you might not have to, you might still be able to grab the handles. But by being at this angle, and then therefore bringing this down towards lower on your body, you're going to be hitting the muscle fiber. You're going to be basically hitting the chest in the correct angle to work that chest. Because like I said, if you're trying to hit the middle portion of the chest, all you do is sit down and bring it straight across your body. If you're trying to hit upper, go up. If you're trying to hit lower, you want to get at an angle where you're going to be bringing this down across your body. Because this angle that I would be hitting right here, if I were sitting, I'd be going like this. And so it's just a more simple way, or just another way to hit your lower portion of your chest with a very common machine that you can find in pretty much any gym. So try that out, squeeze. And then one thing I also like to do is get a little isometric hold at the top right there. 1, 2, 3, just to get some more blood in the muscle. 1, 2, 3, get in the stretch. 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna be exercise number 2. Now let's move on to number 3. All right, so exercise number 3 is going to be, we're actually gonna get on a decline bench, and we're gonna be going with some decline dumbbell flies, and what we're going to do to take it to the next level, because that's already a great exercise, but we're also gonna throw in a little bit of medial rotation with your arm, which basically just means that you're gonna be taking this weight and you're gonna be getting in a nice solid position. You're gonna drop this weight down, feel a nice stretch in your lower pecs, and then as you bring this weight up, that would be the fly, but then you're also going to medially rotate your arm, which is basically just taking your palms and facing them away from you. So you're gonna start with your palms facing you, then as you press up, you're gonna press them away from you, because one of the functions of lower portion of the chest is medial rotation of the arm. So we're gonna drop this down, feeling a nice stretch. You're not going so far to where you hurt your shoulder. Just drop your elbows down, feel that stretch in your lower portion of your chest, then press this weight up, medially rotate your arms, squeeze at the top, and go right back down into the next rep. So this is gonna be the full movement right there, and you can go as heavy as you want. I'm just going pretty light here, but you don't wanna go too heavy because this could end up hurting your shoulder. Be careful at the bottom right there. You're just going until you feel that stretch, and also you're not going way out here. You're going right there, pressing this weight up, rotating as you go up, squeezing, and you're also pressing right above your belly button. You're not going way up here. So you're going down, feel the stretch, medially rotate, squeeze at the top, and that is going to help hit that lower portion of the chest because of the angle that we're pressing this weight and that rotation that we're incorporating as we press at that angle. So it's 2 in 1 for that one. So now let's drop this and move on to the next one. All right, so the 4th exercise is going to be a straight bar wide grip push down. So this is going to be different from like a tricep push down when you're just like this. You're not going to be taking your elbows and keeping them tucked in by your side. You're actually doing what I've always talked about, what you're not supposed to do when you're doing a tricep extension, which is flaring your elbows out. The whole emphasis of what we're doing today is taking your elbows and getting them up high, getting that stretch in the lower portion of your chest, pressing down and bringing it across, and getting that squeeze, that contraction with that lower portion of your pec to build that part. So with this, rather than getting your tricep, your elbows and pressing them in towards your side and extending your arm, you're actually going to grip it a little wider. You're going to bring this down in front of your body. I'll try to show you guys a little bit better. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're actually going to be over it a little bit more. You're going to flare your elbows out until you're feeling a nice stretch in your chest. And then you're going to press this down through your chest. So you're not pressing it down through your triceps. There's a big difference between going like this and squeezing with my triceps and taking it with my chest and pressing with my chest. There's a big difference between that. I can feel it. I'm sure you can see it. Squeezing at the bottom, and same thing. If you want to do that same isometric hole at the bottom where you're squeezing, 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 but the main thing that you want to focus on is having your elbows go from out here up above, and then as you press down, squeezing them all the way down until not locking out your elbows at the bottom, but instead getting that peak contraction as much as you can. Yes, it's a fixed position, but if you're bringing your elbows from out like this and pressing them down at an angle, you're going to be smashing that lower head of your chest and getting a much better fatiguing and getting much better burn than you would, say, doing something like the decline bench press. So that's exercise number 4. Now let's move on to the 5th and final exercise. And the 5th and final exercise are going to be dips. And I made this the 5th one because I typically like to do this as a finisher. And when you heard the word dips, you might have been thinking, well, isn't that a triceps exercise? Well, I actually made a video about how to do dips for the chest and also how to do it for the triceps. I'll put a card up to it right here if you want to hear a more in-depth explanation of how to do it. But quick takeaways from it is when you are trying to do dips for the chest, the main thing that you want to do is focus on leaning forward and looking down at the ground. If you can do that and you can really focus on staying like that and getting a nice stretch in your chest and pushing through your chest, you're going to feel it a lot more than if you were to, say, stay straight up and down, drive your elbows back and squeeze through your arms. There's a big difference between dipping and squeezing with my arm and squeezing with my chest. So, and also one other thing is, if your handle does do this, make it a little bit wider. It's gonna make it easier to hit your chest. But this movement going from your elbows down, or your elbows back and up, and then pressing down and through them, making sure that you're focusing on that mind muscle connection with your chest rather than pressing through your triceps, because it's very easy to press through your triceps. And yes, you're going to be using your triceps a little bit, but if you can create that connection and make it so that you are pressing through your chest and lifting yourself by pressing through your chest, you're going to get a much better contraction in your pecs and feel it a lot more and basically start getting that muscular growth. So like I said, I like to do these as a finisher simply because I just like to go till failure at the end of my workout with an exercise like this. Also because, like the decline bench, it is a fixed position with your arms, but because of the angle that you are pressing, it's so much better than the decline bench because you can get a lot deeper in it. Decline bench stops right here. This can go as far as you want. Just be careful of your shoulder health. If you have bad shoulders, don't do these. Use a dip assist platform if you need to, but do these as a finisher, do them correctly, get that lean forward, really focus on pressing through your chest, almost act as if someone is poking both of your chests and you're trying to flex them the whole time. That's something that I like to, when I'm working out with a friend, I like to touch the muscle that they're working to help them create that mind muscle connection better, get that stimulation there. And it really does help. So hopefully this video helped you. If you're looking for more help with your chest or full chest workouts or form tips with dumbbells versus barbells, I have a full chest playlist up here that has everything under the sun related to chest. So check that out. Also like this video if you found it helpful, and make sure you're clicking that subscribe button to join the V-Shred fam here on YouTube. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.